Is my video decent? We're going to have to put this off for another time. I need you guys to have good audio. Audio is good. Fuck it. Let's just roll. So, as you guys may or may not know, okay, AFA is on probation. Okay. Before my activism career, as I've been very open about, I had a drug problem and I committed some crimes. Now, since that time, have not used any drugs, any substances, no drugs, nothing. I drink a beer here and then, but I don't do any drugs. Okay. I've taken over 200 drug tests from the moment I was on bail, right before I started my channel until right now. Okay. And I've never failed the drug test. On probation, I still do what I do. Okay. I still do this every single day. Now, I go in to take a test one day and something isn't quite right. Oh, Roscon, thank you so much. Something isn't quite right. Okay. The guy takes the test and he doesn't put a sticker on it. There's a little sticker that goes on with your name. I said, no, go put the sticker on. I'm not leaving here unless there's a sticker on that thing. So he takes it and he puts the sticker on just a little bit and it's hanging off the edge. And I think it's weird. So I immediately call the court and I asked to take another drug test. I want to, just in case, you never know. I wanted to take another drug test. So they get me in there the very next day, about 8 hours later. I go in, I take a test. She calls me later the next day and says, your drug test came back positive. I said, positive for what? They said, morphine and codeine. Like I'm out there drinking fucking scissor. So I'm like, yeah, no. I went in the next day, take another test. In the court, that test is negative. I test 3 more times that week. Every test, negative. Oh, Michael Bowman, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Mike, you're going to want to hear this. Every test, negative. So finally, you figure the probation department would drop this farce, right? And they tell me, no, we're going to have to move forward on it. But if you just admit to doing it, even if you didn't do it, then, nothing's going to happen. There's no extra jail time. It doesn't elongate your probation. Literally nothing happens. You just admit to doing it. We can drop this whole thing. We move forward. And I said, I'm not going to admit to something I didn't fucking do. You got me twisted. You must have the wrong fucking one. So I find out which drug test company, a separate company, not the one that just did this through the court. I find a separate drug test company that the court uses for hair follicle. Now, AFA doesn't have much hair, but AFA went and got a hair follicle test. The hair follicle test went back 90 days. So 2 weeks after my failed drug test, I take a hair follicle test. That hair follicle test should show that I have morphine, and codeine in my system. Oh, thank you, Roscon. Now, you know what's funny? The hair follicle test comes back, no drugs, nothing in my system, clean as a whistle. So I go to the probation department and I say, here you go. Here's what you need. No drugs in my system. She goes, oh, the test can't be wrong. I said, what do you think makes more sense? That all of the other tests were right and I didn't do any drugs and you made a mistake, or all the other tests were wrong except that one test you took where the guy was switching the label. Maybe that one was right. Now, I haven't talked about this. This happened about almost a year ago now. So I fought the system. I would not give in. They tried to stop me from going on vacations and going on trips. And every single time they told me I couldn't go, I put a motion before the court. Thank you. I defended myself and I traveled because of this probation violation. They could try and stop my travel, which they did. 11 times they tried to stop my travel. 11 times they failed. Thank you, Jaffa. Now, it's important that if you do, listen, they can take me and lock me up in the deepest depths of the darkest fucking dungeon. The one thing they can't fucking take from me is my sobriety. The fact that I haven't touched fucking drugs. I get up every morning, right? Until my shoes hit the fucking floor and my head hits the fucking pillow. I'm working on myself, on my channel, for me and for we, the motherfucking people, okay? But this probation officer doesn't want to drop it. She doesn't. Now, I got a lawsuit going on right now with the Boston PD. It looks like they threw the towel in, right? Makes sense. I would have if I was you too. And I don't give in. So I'm about $10,000 into an attorney now because I have to pay for an attorney to go in and fight for this. And it's been going on for a year. I never went live once. L Bell, great to see you. I never went live once asking anyone for money for help with this. And I've been dealing with it. So finally, my probation gets transferred to another area. Same county, gets transferred to another area. And the probation officer, a very nice guy, sits down and talks to me. He's like, codeine and morphine? Like you're not doing fucking scissor. You know what I mean? Like of all the things in the world, morphine and codeine. That makes no fucking sense. So they do a little bit more digging. And it turns out that there was some evidence from the drug testing company. Some evidence that was never made aware to me that the other probation department may have had in their possession for a little bit, according to my lawyer. That information was that the drug testing company had made a mistake. That's right, guys. They're about to take my freedom. Well, that's what ultimately what would happen if I went in front of a judge and I lost, right? Big deal. They just wanted me to call. I think from the beginning that they purposely, if it wasn't the probation and this guy, whether maliciously or by accident, there was a mistake. And I said that from the beginning. And even some of the closest people to me said, you know what, AFA? Maybe you did something. Or maybe you took it by accident. I said DNA test the fucking sample. I'm not saying I did something I didn't fucking do to try and get less penalty, less jail time. Sobriety's mine, not theirs. They can rub it on their chest and fuck themselves 6 ways to Sunday, east of the Mississippi, up and down and all over the place. I ain't fucking having it. So, turns out that, and now let me tell you something. The company is called Aver Health, Averhealth. Now, they have been removed, disqualified from drug testing in 5 different states just in the past 2 years. Okay? In Massachusetts alone, a mother lost custody of her child for 2 years because this drug testing company got it wrong, made a mistake. That's okay. It's just our lives you're fucking with. But some people don't have the capacity to dig down deep. They say, listen, it's just a blip on my record. I'm not going to go to jail for this. I'll just say I did it even though I didn't because I can't fight it. Fuck that. I'm $11,000 into this thing and I'm fucking 10 toes and 10 fingers deep, right? I'm 10 toes to the earth right now and I'm fighting this all the fucking way. And it turns out vindication. Turns out I'm right. And was there an apology issued to me by the probation department? No. Now, the chief science officer for Aver Health has most recently went on record stating that 30% of their tests are either mishandled or false positives. 30%. So out of every 100 people that test, 30 could go to jail because they don't do their fucking job. And that's the cheapest one. They have nationwide contracts. They're the cheapest. Your freedom's on the line so the government can save a fucking buck. So I go into court, and the guy that was handling it, he says, we're withdrawing it. You know, there were some issues with that. My question is, why weren't these issues made? It took a good probation officer. Thank you, Pres Trump. Took a good probation officer to look into this and to investigate just a little bit to find out that I didn't do it. How many other people out there didn't fucking do it? Okay? They say that 0.4% of the nation is wrongfully incarcerated for a crime they didn't commit, whether they didn't do it, bad witness testimony, bad evidence. 264,000 Americans right now are sitting in jail for something they didn't do. And they stood up for themselves too. Some of them did. Some of them probably just couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They didn't have the $10,000, $11,000 that I had to hire an attorney to go out there and fucking fight it. So they sat back and they took it. That's wrong. The court works for you. Equal justice, equal fucking measure. Lady Justice is blind for a fucking reason, so she can't see the scumbag government employee standing in front of her over the people that those employees serve. Thank you, late night. And the problem, here's the problem, is you just do something about it. You know, admit that you're wrong. That's all you need to do. Admit that you're wrong. See, now what they wanted me to do, and I didn't do anything wrong. They wanted me to say that I was wrong. And they're like, listen, I hear you. You're saying you didn't do it, but just say you did. Okay, so when I didn't do it, I should say I did. But when they did do it, they shouldn't say that they did. They shouldn't say that they should apologize. It says right on their code of ethics, right on their golden rule, you know, that they're for diversity and accountability for the probationee and the probationer, for the probation officer and the person that they're supervising. I had someone do the right thing, but it took a fucking year to find one good person and some judges that saw through the bullshit. And I won. I would not say I did something I didn't do. I've had a fucking enough. The odds are already fucking stacked against us enough as it is. And Blind to Edwards just says something beautiful. I own my shit, but I will not own others. No one else kept my ass off drugs except you people at home. When I had fucking nothing and I saw one cop and I just had enough and he wanted to flex his fucking badge on me, I took out my fucking phone, I started filming, and then one, and then two, and then three people, then 300, then 3,000, then 10,000, then 50,000, then 100,000, and now 130,000. You people kept me going through this. Banana, YouTube Turns, all of the AFA family have kept me going through this. And I understand it. Some of the people that I spoke to said, I'm sorry, man, I had some doubts. Even my lawyer. He's like, how could they make a mistake like this? You know, like, just fess up. And I wouldn't. Because I'll tell you one thing. You are too good of a person to fucking have to admit for something that you didn't do. And when the government fucks up, they should be held accountable. And that's the reason that we do this shit. That's the reason that you watch this shit. That's the reason that myself, Heather Holt, and YouTube Turns got up today and drove to Springfield, fucking Missouri to cop watch. We didn't get on a vacation. We didn't get any videos that I can post and make money on. But once I realized that we weren't making money, did I stop the camera and did I leave? No, I stayed there with my lens and those fucking cops. And each one of you are fucking worth it. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. There's a fucking another channel that's trying to slaughter fucking DMA right now. And this kid's out there fucking getting himself arrested. What fucking world do we live in where an activist takes off his fucking hat? He says, you know what? I'll go to jail, cuff me up, and people have shit to fucking say. This is the community that we're in now. I'll tell you one thing. I'm part of that second generation. After fucking San Joaquin and John Felix and James Freeman, I was part of the next fucking wave. I've been doing this for 4 years, and in activism years, that's a fucking lifetime. There is so much going on in this community. I'm a fucking huge activist. I'm a really big auditor. Okay? I don't have 700,000 subscribers, but 130,000, that ain't fucking bad. That ain't chump change. And the probation department tried to get me hemmed up. We don't have enough time in the fucking day to find and cast a light on every dirty fucking cop that there is, every dirty government official that there is. We don't have enough thumbtacks, fucking darts, and maps to throw. So I'm calling anybody out that's got some bullshit. I'm about the realness. I'm here talking about activism. I kept my story under wraps for almost a fucking year. And I said, as soon as I fucking beat these guys in court, because I will not back down, I will take the knee, never. On the 36th of fucking February is when I'll bend the knee for the fucking government. And neither should you. We have no time to be squabbling over fucking dramatic bullshit. I mean, Jesus Christ, there's a fucking fight against me. There's a civil war against the government in my very fucking home where they're trying to take my freedom for something that I didn't fucking do, that I proved I didn't do. And I won. We win. We win if we fight. If you stand for this, you'll fucking bend for that. And if you bend for that, you deserve everything that you got. You can't stand complacent and get on your fucking knees and let the goddamn government mow you fucking down. And that's a mistake that I've made, okay? Because I've been going into things, and you guys know, I'm always respectful to cops if they're respectful to me. I'm respectful to anybody as long as they're respectful to me. But we have to remember, we're in a fight for our fucking life. We're in a fight for our fucking freedom, okay? We're 10 toes down, 10 hands up at any given moment. They could snatch you off the fucking street. Fuck the niceness, fuck the courtesy, and fuck you if you get a paycheck that's signed by these United States governments and you think that you're going to fuck with us. Because I'm going to tell you, this AFA is a very different one than you've fucking seen. And all the people in this community, it's time to step up or step the fuck out. Get the fuck out and don't fucking come back. I've worked with virtually fucking everyone. I have virtually everyone's fucking phone number. I've been doing this for a long fucking time. So if you're fake, get the fuck gone. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't subscribe to the fucking drama, but I subscribe to these motherfucking people, every day, 365, 24/7, and save it for your mama's drama. I'm done with the bullshit. So you guys need to fucking get off your horse, whoever you guys are, and start fighting for something. Start fighting. If you don't fucking like somebody, share their video. Who gives a fuck if you don't like them? Share their video. Unless it's fucking Chili. He's a bitch. 68 and I owe you one. Figure out that math. I got to tell you one thing, guys. I am where I am now because of you. I got off the streets. Okay? I got off the fucking streets. And I'm vacationing in a fucking timeshare in paradise. I was spent yesterday on a pontoon with friends and family because I've earned it. I fought for it. And you guys have fought for it too. And I'll tell you one thing. I've met some great fucking people on the way, and I've met some real shitty people along the way. I've met some people from this side of the fence. I've met people from other side of the fence. Perfect example, Mike Bowman. I don't think Mike Bowman and I would have probably been friends in 1,000 fucking years, but I've been to the man's home. He's a goddamn fucking saint, and I consider his wife and his children as a part of my family as he considers mine and ours. Life is what you fucking make of it. And if you make nothing out of it, it'll make nothing out of you. And if it made nothing out of you, you're probably wearing a badge and beating your fucking wife because you're too much of a pussy to stand on my side of the fucking camera. And that's the reason I stopped you today.